And just while we're waiting, I did put in the chat the new Center of Excellence website that was just launched today. Very exciting. Still kind of getting some kinks out, so just be patient with us, but we're very happy to share it. And we had a beautiful launch today, and I'll speak a little bit more about that in just a minute. I see that Ransford has signed in as well. Ransford, am I allowed to put you on the spot as well? Can you say hello?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, everyone. My name's Raceford. I work directly across the hall from Deneen, and very privileged and pleased to work with her hand in hand around this Center of Excellence initiative we got going on. So happy to be here, and I'm just going to listen and observe. And what a great way to round out my day. So thanks for the invitation.
Thanks, Ransford. Well, with that, we are going to get started. I'm somebody that starts on time and ends on time, especially after school with teachers. So everybody that's here, thank you so much for coming. We are very excited to offer the presentation by Renee Fredette and Marie-France Lozier. I am going to have a little bit of an introduction, and then I'm going to let them take over the show. But just to reiterate what I was speaking about earlier, today was the official launch of the Center of Excellence for Health. And I could not let the presentation go by without saying thank you to all of my teammates who made that happen today. We had a great morning. We had some ministers there that were speaking about the Center of Excellence model. We have launched our website officially, and again, kind of getting the kinks out, but really excited to showcase this presentation on the website. And or a lot of other opportunities and activities are listed there as well. And they'll be updated daily. So make sure that you pop over to the website as much as possible, and please share the link with anybody that you think might be interested. So without further ado, I will do the introductions. Renee is a registered dietitian since 2001 and has been working as a community dietitian with the Miramichi Mango program since 2005. She is passionate about health promotion and loves working with her community on various wellness projects. Marie-France is a registered dietitian since 2018 and is currently working as a community dietitian with the Mango program. Marie-France quickly found her passion for food security work and building healthy environments in New Brunswick communities. I'm very pleased to present Marie-France and Renee.
Thank you, Deneen. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming today. I'm Renee, and I have my colleague Marie-France there as well. I'll let her say a little hello.
Yes, hi, I'm Marie-France.
So we're very excited today to be here to discuss the 520 program and how activities related to this program can be incorporated in the classroom. On the menu, we have, of course, a description and explanation of what is 520. We will review the 520 lessons plan that we have developed and on which websites you can find them, and we'll have a little period of questions at the end. So Marie-France and I will team teach today. She'll do the first part of the presentation, and we'll finish with the lesson plans. So Marie-France, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Renee. So we are going to get right into it and discuss what is the 520 initiative that we've been talking about. So basically, the 520 A Way of Life initiative is an initiative that promotes healthy behaviors and healthy environments in New Brunswick communities. So the simple 520 messages encourages healthy eating and being active every day. And this initiative started in 2016 in Northumberland County communities, and we are working towards having this initiative and having these messages in as many New Brunswick communities as we can. So, just to go a little bit deeper on what that initiative is, it's really an initiative that looks at the environments where people live, work, and play. So, to make the healthy choice, the easy choice, we all have to work together to create healthy environments in our communities. And we know that schools already have many policies in place supporting healthy environments. And what we want to do is really discuss how we can incorporate the 520 messages already with that healthy environment. because our goal is to have consistent messaging. So having that consistent 5210 messages is as many places as we can. So if we're thinking about kids, we want to have the same consistent messages in as many environments as we can that they go to. For example, daycares, school, recreational centers, at home. So having that message as many places as we can. And basically, each number of the 5210 initiative represents a message that helps improve overall health and well-being. So it's kind of just a fun way to remember the healthy messages. So we are going to break down each number and just discuss briefly what those messages mean. So if we start with the 5 of the 5210 initiative, is 5 represents enjoying at least 5 vegetables or fruit every day. So this message is to encourage students to eat more fruits and vegetables. It's to get them curious and excited about fruits and vegetables, as well as different ways that they can have them. It's learning the benefits for their health of having fruits and vegetables every day, and having a school environment that makes it easy for kids to have access to fruits and vegetables, right? So having a canteen or a cafeteria that have different fruits and vegetables in different ways to get kids excited about it. It's serving fruits and vegetable maybe at certain events at school or after school activities as well. And it's also, just an example, getting kids involved as much as they can to figure out ways that they can increase fruit and vegetables. For example, like having a smoothie bar or, just discovering new foods like that. So that is the first number of the initiative, is the 5 for enjoying 5 fruit or more or veggies. And then we have number 2 for power down no more than 2 hours of recreational screen time per day. So this number and this message encourages kids to find ways to have fun and to connect with their friends and their families in ways that don't necessarily use screens. So it's to help encourage them to discover screen-free activities, to use their creativity, to imagination, to discover new hobbies that don't necessarily involve any screen time. And with number 2, we often talk about sleep as well and the importance of sleep, because we know that screen time is often associated with the disruption of sleep patterns. So we want to make sure that with this number, we also talk about the importance of sleep for overall good health and help kids understand what sleep recommendations there are, helping them figure out a good routine, a good nighttime routine that works for them, as well as the benefits of a healthy sleeping pattern. And then we have number 1 in our 5210 initiative, which is, of course, move more, at least 1 hour of physical activity every day. And this message is, again, to encourage kids to move as much as they can. We know that our bodies are made to move, and we want to encourage kids to explore and discover physical activities that they enjoy doing. So helping them discover new sports and encouraging them to have multiple different types of activities that they can do each season, or activities that they can do indoors or outdoors. So giving them all those new possibilities to move their body, as well as talking about the benefits of moving our body and what I can do for their health. We want a school environment that promotes movement and different sports, and maybe even having stretch breaks and active breaks during the day, or combining different activities with moving, as much as we can, to get that 1 hour physical activity each day if we can. And then our last number of the 5210 is 0 for drink more water, 0 sugar added beverages. So this is to encourage to make water their drink of choice. So water, plain milk, plain soy beverages are all the beverages that we want to encourage students to have more of, as well as ensuring to make students aware of the quantity of sugar in certain drinks that may be popular. So of course, having a school environment that promotes frequent water breaks or reminding students to fill up their water bottle, or just little reminders during the day to take a drink of water. We want to serve water at activities at school or activities that are after school. And of course, just educating on the amount of sugars on certain drinks. So those, in a nutshell, are the four 5-2-0 messages that come with the initiative. And we want just to incorporate these messages and have it as consistently as we can in different environments in our community so that kids can hear this message, as much as they can and just remember those healthy habits. So it's not necessarily about focusing on the specific numbers, like not panicking if we only had 4 fruits and vegetables instead of 5, but it's just an easy and simple way to remember these healthy behaviors. And then just, a little extra added layer to talk about why it would be important to try to incorporate these 5-2-0 messages in our school environment is because that we know that the earlier students learn about healthy behaviors like this, the better chance of these behaviors really having a major impact on their physical health, on their mental health, and their overall well-being. So when we encourage and we give students the opportunity to eat more fruits and veggies, to drink more water, reducing their screen time, and moving more, this will help students feel good. It will help them concentrate and be more productive during school hours. It can help them be ready to learn and to play all day at school. So these messages really help students understand and develop and maintain healthy habits throughout their life. So again, it's about the consistency. We want to hear this message as much as we can throughout their school years so that these messages and these healthy habits have more chance of being adopted by the students.
Thank you, Marie-France. And I will continue with the next part of the session, which is talking about the lesson plans. So we have created a toolkit that incorporates the 6 lessons plan that were developed, but they will also be available individually. And each of the lesson plans will focus on one of the specific messages. And we have one of them that talks about the whole initiative to explain what it is about. And another one with the number 2, as Marie-France mentioned, we often talk about sleep with the number 2. So I will change for this one. I will show you another document. So can everyone see the layout of this activity? Yes, okay. So each activity has the same format. So there will always be the title of the activity, an overview, what you will need, the instructions. And then I'm just going to scroll to show you the rest. So you'll have also the curricular outcomes for each activity and the New Brunswick global competencies. And at the bottom, you have the list of the handouts that you would need to complete this activity. So each activity has a handout associated to it that we would kind of recommend to review with the students so that they know why it is important to try to follow that message. So as mentioned before, the first one is the 5-2-0 quiz. If you're going to do a couple of activities, I would recommend to start with that one. This way it explains the initiative and the 4 messages. And then you can do any of the other activities depending on the time that you have or the message that you think you'd like to focus with your class. So for this quiz, we would suggest that you ask the students to stand in a circle, and then you would call out different activities from the list below here. And you would tell the student that if the activity is recommended by 5-2-0, they would need to run in place. And you could also choose other activities that they can do or other actions, like it could be squats or jumping jacks. And you can maybe do like the first 5 statement with running and then the other ones with other activities. And then you can tell the student that if the activity isn't recommended by 5-2-0, they would need to stand still. So this is just to learn about the different messages or habits that are promoted with 5-2-0 while having fun and moving at the same time. I won't review the specific outcomes for each activity. That's something that can be looked at after. And I'll just give you an overview of each of the activities. So the next one is Veggie and Fruit Mania. And that one will identify different vegetables and fruit and new ways to eat them. So it supports the eat at least 5 vegetables and fruit each day. So for this activity, again, you would need a large open space, and we would recommend that the students stand in a circle. And the first student will throw the ball to another student in the circle, and at the same time, the student would name a vegetable or a fruit. And the student that catches the vegetable or fruit would have to explain a way of adding that vegetable or fruit. So an example, if the first student says strawberry, the one that catches the ball could say, oh, you can put strawberries in yogurt. And then that student will throw the ball to another one and list another vegetable or fruit. So it could be an example, if it's spinach, the student that catches the ball could say, oh, well, spinach can be used in a salad. So this is how this activity kind of, you just keep going with different vegetables and fruit until if a student can't think of a fruit or a vegetable to name, or can't find a way to add them in their diet, then they would sit down, and you continue to play until all the students are sitting down or that you run out of time. So again, just an activity to promote ways to incorporate, fun ways to incorporate vegetables and fruit, and the kids might get some new ideas from their friends. So the next activity that we have is for the number 2. So it supports the power down, no more than 2 hours of screen time per day. It's a screen-free activity that helps decrease stress, boost feelings of optimism, and strengthen resilience. So it's called Positive Affirmation. And what you would need is craft materials, the handout, and also the positive affirmation list that is just below. So to set up, you would ask students to sit at their desk with their craft supplies. And again, before you start, you would review the Power Down handout. For younger students, for this activity, we recommend that you would maybe print and prepare the little affirmations ahead of time. And to play, the students will choose at least 10 positive affirmations from the list, and they would create, or they can create their own affirmation if they want. And each affirmation will be written down on its own piece of paper, then folded and placed in the paper bag. And you can also use jars if you prefer, depending what you have on hand. The student would create illustration and imagery on the bags that relate to one of their chosen affirmation. And if they are comfortable with that, they could share with the class one of the affirmations that they picked. So these affirmations can be chosen from the bag daily at a time that is decided by the teacher for a confidence booster, or the students can choose one of their little affirmation when they are feeling a bit overwhelmed. And this is just a picture here to show that if you decide to use a jar, you can kind of decorate your little jar. And this is the list that we just mentioned that can be given to the kids to pick from. And again, for the smaller one, it might be good to kind of print it out and cut it out for them. So this next activity also falls under the number 2, the Power Down. It's a screen-free activity that promotes relaxation technique that can help students relax before bed, or relax at any time of the day too, if they just kind of feel a little bit overwhelmed. But since it goes with the sleep handout, we say it's a way to improve sleep quality, and it's an activity they can do before bed. It's called Star Hand Relaxation. So the students would spread their hand in front of them like a star, and they use the index of their other hand to trace an outline of a star on their hand. So each time that they go up a finger, they would inhale, and when they go down, they would exhale. So you just keep going like that for each finger. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And of course, you would do that more slowly with the students to help them relax. Now our next activity is called Build Your Own Obstacle Course, and it supports the Move 1, at least 1 hour of physical activity each day. And it's basically just creating their own obstacle course. So you would need a wide open space. It can be done indoors, outdoors, depending on the weather. And then you would divide your class in different groups, depending on how many students you have. So you could have 4 to 5 groups, and also depending on the amount of equipment that you have. So the students would build their own obstacle course. They could even name it after, and then show their friends how to do it. And then each student would take a turn to try the different obstacle courses. And the last activity that we have is called Sugar Relay. and it is to promote the drinking more water and zero sugar added beverages. And it's an activity to show students how much sugar is in certain familiar beverages that they would have. So for this one, you would use the drink more water. And just a little note on this one is that at the bottom of that handout, it does talk about different beverages and the number of sugar cubes in them. So you want to skip that part because that's actually the answers to the activity that they would do. So there are cards that go with this activity that I will show at the end, but you would have to print those cards because they show different images of beverages and some sugar content. So then if you want to divide your class in two, you would print 2 sets of cards and then cut them out. And to set up your class, you would divide the class in 2 groups. You would put each set of cards on the floor or table at the end of their classroom. And then the students would take turns. So once the cards are placed at one side of the room and the students at the opposite side of the room, each player will take a turn to running to pick up a card and bring it back to their team. And when the teams have all their cards, then they can associate the amount of sugar for the different beverages. And the first team to correctly complete this association would win the game. And it's really to kind of try to get them moving while they are also learning how much sugar is in the different beverages. So this is the answer to the little game. So it will tell you that for the orange juice, for example, there's 6 cubes. For the pops, there's 7 cubes. And these are the cards that we were mentioning. So you would just print the number of sets that you need and then cut them out. So these are the beverages and the sugar cubes are below here. Oh. Okay. So those are our 6 activities that we have created to help you explain the 520 messages. All the material will be available on the Center of Excellence for Health. I think Deneen is in the process of uploading them. And they will also be available on our 520 website. And I can just quickly show you here what our website looks like. So on our website, if you go at the top part, you have resources and tools. So in there, you have different resources divided in either groups or like the environment that we were talking about earlier, or by topic. So you have like the 5210 and sleep, and also all the messages together. So all the handouts are available there. And then in the groups, you have a section called school, and you have different toolkits here as well. And all the lessons will also be uploaded by the end of the week, so for you to access them. And again, we'll make them available either individually as different lesson plans, or you can have them all in one toolkit. So one other thing that we wanted to mention before we finish is that we are currently working with the Gretna Green School here in Miramichi to create a What's 520 video. We're very excited about this partnership. It will create a great tool to promote and explain 520. The filming is actually taking place this coming Friday, and we anticipate that it will be a great day. And as soon as the video is finished, we will upload it on both websites, the Center of Excellence, and also on our 520 website. We've created a French one too. And that's something that I wanted to mention. All our activities are available in both languages, in French and in English. So for the French immersion classes, all the activities are there as well. And for the French video, I wanted to mention that the pictures that you would have seen today in the presentation were actually taken from that video. We're always excited to get pictures. So if you're doing any of our activities and you would love to share a picture of the class doing them, we would love to have it and proudly showcase it in our promotions and in our material. So that's all that we've prepared for today, and we'll open it up for questions. And I can even stop presenting for this part.
So I dropped the 5210 website link in the chat box as well if people want to take a look, but it's really just 5210.ca, pretty straightforward. And I'm also just going to pop in our email addresses if ever anyone needs any additional help or resources for anything. But yeah,
Thank you. That was absolutely wonderful. And I always have questions, but I do think that the message of 5210 is relevant to everybody. Doesn't matter what age you are. So starting at that young age, as you spoke about, is really important in having that consistent message. And I think that the more that we can get the message out regarding the 5210 initiatives, the more the students will understand the initiative, but also talk about the initiative, and it becomes a norm in the living environment, and not just for the students, but also for the families. And making that connection with the families is so key for healthy behaviors. So certainly, thank you so much, ladies. That was very well delivered and very well, I know, received from everyone that's here today. If anybody has any questions, you can either put them in the chat and I can answer them on my own, or you can certainly email Marie-France or Renee if you have questions specifically as well. I do want to just take a minute to say that they've been working really hard on the video, and we wanted to try and get that up as soon as possible on both websites. We're really excited about the video because it's the students in New Brunswick speaking about the initiative, and I think that speaks volumes to their peers. So very happy to be part of this with Horizon Health and with the dietitians. And I just had one quick question. Why did you become a dietitian for both of you?
whoa, good question. Just because I knew how much of a difference I would be able to make. I always knew I wanted to be a community dietitian. So just the difference that I knew that I could make in the communities and making healthy environments was a big seller for me.
And for me, I've always been interested in science and food and healthy eating and health promotion. So yeah, it just seemed to be the right field. And I love food, so I love to eat as well. Talking
Me
about
too.
food, it's through practicing, I guess, that I've really found my passion of community development too. Like it's really where I like to be as a community dietitian, and love the job.
Excellent. Well, thank you. And one more question. What would be your favorite part about your job, like your daily kind of routine? Right now with the Center of Excellence, we're certainly trying to showcase different careers, and both of you have a very engaging career within your community. But what would be one thing that maybe sets it apart from other careers?
Well, I can start with this one. For me, I think it's really creating those partnerships. It's so fun to see what we can do together. I'm sure as teachers, everyone has heard the saying, like it takes a village to raise a child, like so many times, and this is how it feels. Like it's when we all kind of do our different parts and work together, and you can see the beautiful programs and initiatives and the difference that it makes in people. I think that's the favorite part for me. Yeah, to meet all kinds of different people and working with the kids at school too has been like so much fun, and they take it on. So that was the fun part. I think like when we did the French video, and we're really looking forward to doing it with Gretna Green again. Like they came up with ideas of their own, and they wanted to try this and that. And so yeah, that's my favorite part, I would say.
Yeah, that's a really hard answer to beat. No, that's amazing. That's exactly what I was thinking too. Like creating those meaningful relationships and those meaningful projects, and knowing that being a community dietitian, the work takes a little bit longer to kind of see the results that we're hoping to see. But looking back and seeing the differences that we make in schools and workplaces and in different environments in our community, and seeing how when people come and they say like, hey, like this changed my life, like those meaningful conversations really make the job completely worth it and satisfying to me.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Well, thank you for the work that you do, because we certainly need more passionate, beautiful community, I guess, educators, I'm going to call you. And I know that you're making a huge difference in Miramichi. When I first got the job here at the Center of Excellence, people were telling me in different meetings about the 5210 initiative. So I do believe that the message is getting out. So thank you again for the work that you're doing. And just to repeat, all of the activities and lessons will be posted on the Center of Excellence website as well as the 5210 website. We have it together as a kit and it's available in French and English, which is very exciting. And both Marie-France and Renee can answer questions in both French and English. I'm not so much, but certainly you can reach out to me, Deneen Diamond, the Center of Excellence, if you have any other questions. This is going to be recorded and it will be posted as well on the website, so that if you have colleagues that you think might want to listen to the presentation, certainly share the video. And I'm really excited to see where this goes. So thank you again. We appreciate it. It is almost 4:15. And like I said earlier, I start on time and I end on time. So if you don't have any specific questions right now, we will sign off, but certainly feel free to reach out to myself or Marie-France and Renee. And we are excited to see how this all goes.
We
Thank
really
you
are.
so
Thank you,
much.
Denise. Yes.
Thank you. I'm going to place my email in the chat as well. And I know that I already put the website there.
Perfect.
All right. I'm going to stop the recording.